Today, we're diving deep into how one of Asia's biggest real estate groups, VietDak, is basically building the future of property management. And this is a story all about data, AI, and how they're completely reinventing a multi-billion-dollar industry from the ground up. So let me ask you a question. How do you think these massive billion-dollar real estate portfolios are actually managed? I mean, you're talking about huge plots of land, towering skyscrapers, entire residential communities. For decades, the whole industry has pretty much run on experience, gut feelings, and, well, a ton of spreadsheets. But when the stakes are this high, is going with your gut really good enough anymore? VietDak decided the answer to that was a definite no. The change they made was huge. It was a complete shift away from the old way of just reacting to problems as they pop up and moving toward actually predicting them before they happen. It's all about tearing down those walls between departments to create one single source of truth for the entire company, all powered by data and AI.
So, how in the world did they pull this off? Well, here's our roadmap for today. First, we're going to look at their core vision. Then, we'll dissect the platform itself to see how it's built. After that, we'll see how it turns all that raw data into powerful predictions. And finally, we'll explore their really ambitious long-term strategy for a connected ecosystem.
All right, let's kick things off with the vision. Because, to really get what VietDak built, you have to understand this was never just about a new app. It was about changing the company's DNA, embedding a totally new way of thinking across the board. Their big goal was to create what they call a data-driven real estate platform. What that really means is that every single major decision, I'm talking everything from which piece of land to buy, to how much a new apartment should cost, to how you manage a shopping mall, is all backed by hard data and supercharged by artificial intelligence. And the scope here is just massive. I mean, the platform covers the entire life of a property. It starts way at the beginning, analyzing huge banks of land. Then it helps manage the inventory of every single property for sale. It tracks how well the sales and leasing teams are doing, and it even gets into the super detailed stuff, like daily building operations and, of course, the profitability of each project. Okay, so a system that does all that, how does it actually work? To get that, we need to pop the hood and take a look at the platform's anatomy. It all starts with something they call core entities. And what's so cool about this is how simple the idea is. Just think of them as the basic nouns of the business: a project, a single property unit, a signed contract, a buyer, a tenant. The system takes every single one of these real-world things and turns it into a data point. So if those entities are the nouns, then dimensions are the tools you use to ask questions about them. This is how you can slice and dice all that data. Look at it over time, break it down by neighborhood, see which sales team is performing best, or even check on the status of a project. This is really how you turn a mountain of data into something you can actually use. And all of this is organized into these really clear functional modules. So it doesn't matter if you're on the investment team, the sales team, or the operations team. You get a dashboard that's built just for you, showing you exactly what you need to see, from the big picture trends all the way down to a single apartment sale. Okay, now for the really cool part. How does this platform go from just organizing data to actually predicting what's going to happen next? Well, it starts by tracking hundreds of key performance indicators, or KPIs, in real time. So for the sales team, they're watching everything. Things like the booking to contract rate, which is basically how many deposits turn into actual sales, or the average selling price. And maybe most important, sales velocity, how fast are units flying off the shelf. And this level of detail goes deep into their inventory too. They're tracking the total dollar value of everything they haven't sold, the absorption rate, which is just the percentage of units sold each month, and they even have this really slick metric called an inventory health index, which basically gives a score to the quality of the properties they still have left. And yep, you guessed it, the same thing applies to all their rental properties and building operations. They have a constant live pulse on occupancy rates, rental yields, and how efficient they're being, right down to the operating cost per square meter. It gives managers a view of their business they've just never had before. But here's the thing, tracking what just happened, that's only half the story. The real game changer is using all of that data to predict what will happen next. And, well, that's where the AI comes in.
This is where the platform really flexes its muscles. The system can actually predict future property prices based on all the market data. It can forecast how much demand there will be for a new project before they even put a shovel in the ground. It can score every sales lead, telling the team which buyers are hot and which are not. And it can even recommend the perfect rental price to get the most income without sacrificing occupancy. Now that is a serious competitive advantage.
And finally, let's look at how all of this fits into a much bigger picture, because this platform was designed from day one to be way more than just a tool to make things run better internally. You can think of the strategy as having two pillars. Internally, the goal was what we talked about, creating that single source of truth. But externally, the vision is so much bigger, to build a connected real estate platform. And that means opening up the system to connect with banks, with brokers, with marketing agencies, and all sorts of other tech partners.
So what's the big payoff here? It's huge. By building this themselves, VietDak owns all its technology and all its data. It puts their digital transformation into hyperdrive. And maybe most exciting, it creates a launch pad for them to create totally new businesses in fintech, in proptech, and even in building the smart cities of the future.
So when you boil it all down, this thing isn't just another dashboard or reporting tool. No way. It's something way more ambitious. It's a foundational data plus AI plus connected ecosystem platform, and it's designed to change the very core of how their business operates. Which leaves us with one last pretty fascinating question to think about. For over 100 years, real estate has been all about three things: location, location, location. But if the future of this industry really is going to run on data, then the companies that own the data platforms like this one, they might just be the ones who get to write the new rules for everybody else.